For those listening on Litter Media Radio, we interrupt your regularly scheduled program for this program, Litter Media Live, on this March 6th, 2024. Hi.
But wouldn't we now be a regularly scheduled programming at this time?
Kind of. We're toying with it, I guess, is the one way of looking at it. I'm Dan Ramey. He's Mike Smith. Aaron Glandon off to my left. And we are starting another broadcast day. Well, we actually started earlier, didn't we?
About an hour ago, yes.
Yeah, with folks from Pickaway County. So we've got a lot of things to share with you today, and I'm wearing my lucky shirt because we're wrapping up the night with the Teays Valley Vikings. And Teays Valley is 2-0 when I wear this shirt.
This year?
No, not this year.
Huh?
When I've worn this shirt for a Teays Valley event, which I try not to wear it to a Teays Valley event in which it's a team that we're covering, but it's also considered in our coverage territory. So I don't want to look like I'm just Teays Valley media, but I've been wearing this shirt, and when I wear it for a Teays Valley exclusive game, they're 2-0.
I have no problem with that. But if you're going to get superstitious like these baseball players where you don't clean your underwear or socks, and I have to set this close to you, I'm going to...
Yes. It has been washed since, but I started to think about this because Brian Barnett and I were talking about it last Friday night, and he says, wear that shirt again. And I'm thinking to myself, do you have one of these traditions? Are you like, I got to think, do you wear the same underwear, that kind of thing, until the string comes to a close or whatever? So we'll be superstitious for tonight, at least. So we'll talk more about it during our sportscast.
Isn't this Reynoldsburg's colors? I just thought of that.
No, Reynoldsburg's purple and gold.
I was sweating there for a little bit.
No. But if you wear a patch over your eye for the, So coming up this evening, we've got high school basketball. We'll be back at it again on the Turney Trail. And if they fall by the wayside tonight, we may possibly, it depends on what Bloom Carroll does.
They're playing also tonight.
Have a game on Saturday. But if Teays Valley wins, they will play Saturday as well. So more details about that coming up in sports. I'm way ahead of myself. Super loads and more coming your way in just a bit. But first, we want to talk about the forecast.
Rain. It's raining out there, folks. Today, it's also a little bit cooler than what we had the last couple of days. 57 our projected high today and again tomorrow, although I think we're going to get a break in the rain tomorrow, but rain possibly returning on Friday with Friday's high of 63.
And the temperature not being what it was earlier in the week. Man,
when it's not snowing.
We got down to OU, and of course, there was skin everywhere. People were wearing shorts and all, just walking all over town, and it was a sight to behold. It was, and we'll continue in just a moment. I look at news. We talked about super loads. I don't know if it's super loads, mega loads. It's just big overload.
They keep
oversized loads.
More times than not, I've seen mega loads being referred to on the press release.
So we're going to touch on that here shortly. But first, let's talk about our friends at Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, your trusted comfort advisor. Accurate, if you click on this ad, if you're looking at it on our website, littermedia.com, it takes you right to their website, which is accuratehvac.com. Been taking care of the comfort in your homes for nearly 5 decades. Want to learn more? Check them out. Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. News is next.
Wherever you are there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch just to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks from your phone. Day or night, wherever you are, or whatever you're doing, download the Kingston National Bank Mobility app today.
If you can't give true love to me, I'll understand.
It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Michelob Ultra.
For transportation options in Ross County, call Ross County Health District's Mobility Management Team, 740-779-9652.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
Beneficial news that you can use for your day. You can find it on our website, littermedia.com, as well as our social media encounters for you here on Facebook, as well as Litter Media X. And YouTube, too. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's free. We're going to start with a look at a conversation we had yesterday with Matt Bruning about the super loads, mega loads that are making their way up to Hebron, Ohio. That's where you'll find Intel being constructed. Well, they're bringing them up the river, and there you see, just outside of Manchester, Ohio, that's part of the super loads that's coming through. And this was a video that Matt posted this morning. Matt Bruning is the press secretary for ODOT, and there you see the loads. They're on the trailers ready to come this way. And being told that looks like it'll probably be Friday when we'll see them come through here on Route 23 through the Chillicothe area.
That's what, if all goes as planned, tentatively scheduled to be in the Chillicothe area, probably sometime on Friday.
Does weather become a factor?
Only snow would be an issue. Rain won't be that big of an issue. It may slow us down a little bit more, but it won't be an issue for moving it.
You want to make sure you plan your days around part of this because of the fact that if you have to make a quick trip to wherever you're going, they're going to be slow. Slow moving. And when we talk slow, he walked here yesterday for the interview from the ODOT office down the street.
Yeah.
And I said, you're probably moving faster than the loads. And he said, yeah, that's probably the case. A visit yesterday with Amy Beeler. She is the superintendent for the Pioneer Center here in Ross County, talking about the celebrity basketball game with the Ross County Trailblazers Special Olympians. The game will feature 17 celebrities and 28 Special Olympians at Chillicothe's Hatton Memorial Gymnasium. They'll ask for a $5 donation at the door, and they'll also recognize their sponsors who raise the funds for the athletes to do what they do for free. That game is March 20th here in Chillicothe.
Also in news today, new water meters are being replaced in the village of Frankfort. That's in Ross County, of course, for those of you outside of Ross. You may have a short period of time that your water is off, about 10 minutes if they're replacing your meters. The first time you run water afterwards, you might experience a minimal discoloration of water, but just run it for about a minute or so, and that should clear up. Speaking of some work being done that might cause some inconvenience in the city of Circleville, they are going to be doing some tree removals, and that will impact traffic. Now, this will be happening March the 11th through the 15th. You can see, for those of on our radio audience, you can't see, but it's on North Court Street to be closed between Hayward Avenue and Morse Road from 8 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. each day, March 11th through 15th. Again, the purpose of the closure is so they can remove some older trees along the street that have limbs that have been breaking and recently falling. So just be prepared for that, March 11th through 15th.
Ross County Farm Bureau has their breakfast coming up soon. It's a week from this Thursday, March 14th, 7 a.m. until 10 a.m. They also have, I believe, a workman's comp meeting, something like that, so they'll do. So the breakfast starts at 7. They'll start the meeting, I believe, about 8 o'clock. But your participants, you can just stop out. $3 per person. You can't find a breakfast that cheap anywhere. So slide in. You'll find this at the Ross County Service Center. FFA members from Ross County Schools will be serving breakfast for those in attendance.
Yes, sir. Also, a painting fundraiser to help out with the new Pike County Library construction. They've had a number of these, and the next one coming up is March the 14th. This one will be held at the Pike County Senior Citizen Center starting at 6 p.m.
How about spaghetti? March 22nd, the Pickaway County Masonic Lodge, number 23, is hosting their annual spaghetti dinner. That'll be between 11 a.m. and 7 p.m. at their South Court Street Lodge there in Circleville.
Adena Health is searching for new and experienced individuals with a passion for caring for others during its clinical hiring event on March the 15th. Individuals interested in clinical career opportunities are encouraged to come by, specifically in the areas of licensed practical nurses, patient care associates, radiology technologists, registered nurses, and respiratory therapists. Now, the 1 to 6 p.m. event will will be held at the Adena Regional Medical Center campus Tecumseh Room, which, of course, is at 272 Hospital Road in Chillicothe.
Pickaway County High School seniors looking for scholarship money. The Pickaway South Soil and Water Conservation District is offering $1,000 scholarships to seniors. Applications are due April 10th. For details and an application, just go to pickawayswcd.org/scholarships.
And this last one, this is not our This Day in History, but it's something that the Ohio State House put up yesterday. Of course, our own Lucy Webb Hayes, who lived in Chillicothe, later became the wife of former general in the Civil War, Rutherford B. Hayes, who just also later became president of the United States. Well, Lucy was the first president's wife to ever be referred to as the First Lady. That's not news to me. I knew that already. But what I didn't know was she became the first president's wife to have earned a college degree. Something that's common today, probably. Back in those days, was a rarity.
Now the question is, where did she get that degree from?
That's a good question.
I know that after she left here, she spent a lot of time in Cincinnati. I wonder if it wasn't the University of Cincinnati.
There was some kind of a conservatory of music and arts and things of that nature. I don't know if that's where she got that or not, but you're right. She did spend a good deal of time with Cincinnati as a home. Don't know if she was ever a bat girl for the Red Stockings. But
No. and I'm thinking Oberlin College comes to mind for some reason.
Aaron's got the
Aaron's got it. Aaron needs his microphone turned on.
Cincinnati Wesleyan Female College.
Wesleyan
Cincinnati
Female
Wesleyan.
College.
She was a Wesleyan. How about that, Mike?
Well, she might have been.
You turned up the wrong mic.
Oh, did I? I'm sorry. Which one do I need to turn up?
You're on
2. Usually on 4.
Cincinnati Wesleyan Female College.
Which,
Cincinnati Wesleyan Female. Is it still
I wonder
around?
if that is even around today.
The Wikipedia page, those words are not in blue, so I would assume that
Chances are it no longer exist. How about that?
Chances are it's now defunct.
It's defunct.
However, Lemonade Lucy, she was the one that says no
booze
drinking
in the White
House.
How those days have changed.
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well.
All right, coming up shortly, we'll take a look at sports for you. But first, Scioto Valley Dumpsters. If you've got some cleaning house to do, maybe all those booze bottles, you need a dumpster. Scioto Valley Dumpsters, 740-253, or maybe lemon rinds. You could throw those
That's
into
correct.
the dumpster as well. 740-253-8389 is the number to call for Scioto Valley Dumpsters. Tell Carl that Dan and Mike sent you. Each week, Litter Media presents the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Player of the Week. If you have an athlete to nominate, any amateur athlete is eligible. Simply visit littermedia.com and click on Player of the Week. At the end of the year, we'll announce the Player of the Year. Make your nominations now at littermedia.com. Click on Player of the Week.
It's the details that make the difference between good enough and simply the best. At Skag Power Equipment, the difference is in designing lawnmowers with your convenience and comfort in mind. At Skag, we believe that quality and substance matter, and that you'll appreciate the attention to detail and craftsmanship we put into every single product. Thick steel and heavy-duty components provide you with unmatched reliability and performance. Skag, simply the best.
Visit ChillicotheOhio.com. Our friends at the Ross Chillicothe Convention and Visitors Bureau. Sports. And we start with tonight's contest. Tays Valley and Reynoldsburg. I've had several run-ins with Reynoldsburg over the years.
I bet you have.
With Chillicothe, of course, involved in the Ohio Capital Conference. But there is one slight change to what we have here. Tom Beard will not be with us this evening, and so he said, I'll be listening from home tonight. Yeah. So I'll be filling in for Tom, and Aaron will be filling in for me tonight.
Just don't get run over down there, Aaron. Those are big boys running around.
They will fall on you.
Yeah, rough night last night for one of our area girls basketball teams in the regionals and Division II girls regional semifinals. Bloom Carroll's Lady Bulldogs. They took a thumping. Cincinnati Purcell Marion. They are loaded, folks. Number 1 team in the state in D2. They were a winner, 77-43. Now, some good news for a couple of Southeast District teams. Fairland, who is just rocking and rolling, man, 63-22 over West Muskingum. Sheridan beat Carrollton 59-42. So Fairland and Sheridan will meet for the girls' Division II regional title on Friday over at Zanesville, and that guarantees the Southeast District a girls' team in D2 in the state Final Four.
You know, one thing we didn't mention was for our radio listeners, we'll take the air about 6:50 tonight with our contest. Bloom Carroll's boys are playing tonight as well. Do you know who they're playing and where they're playing?
It's on the score page, and I'll have to call it up here. But go back to your screen there, Aaron. Boys basketball last night out of the Central District. This was, and this is incorrect. I need to make a change there. That was the Division IV District Semi. Shekinah Christian over Fairfield Christian, 72-47, and Lancaster Fisher Catholic got by Columbus Tree of Life, 39-35, but that is Division IV District Semifinal action.
All right, OCU. Let's get to Ohio Christian University here. Congratulations to the River States Conference Women's Player of the Year, Haley Cox. Hailing from up in Circleville, her season has included her being second in the nation in scoring, exceeding 1,000 career points, a single-game scoring record, and a national NAIA Player of the Week award. So congratulations to Haley Cox.
Going back to answer your question, Bloom Carroll boys play Watterson. Does that sound familiar?
Yes.
From football season.
Yes.
They're meeting again on the basketball court tonight.
I think, didn't they play earlier?
I think
in the season, regular season?
In some other sport, maybe it was girls or something. I don't know what it was.
I was thinking it was boys basketball, and I think Bloom Carroll defeated Watterson because, if I'm not mistaken, we made reference here when we were doing scores that day that they got payback for the football playoff game.
So if that is the case, it's in the park tonight.
Rematch tonight,
Yeah.
grudge match.
I think I saw the remaining 4 teams in that district are seeded 3 through 6. So they're right there together as far as how close they are. The OU Bobcat men's basketball team, they won their 5th straight last night with a win over Buffalo, 78-66. They're like Ohio State and everybody else. They're wrapping up their regular season. And the MAC tournament, I don't know if it starts this weekend or the following weekend. Maybe I don't know. I just won't speculate.
It's probably this weekend because Selection Sunday, I think, is next Sunday.
Okay.
Not this coming, but the next Sunday.
Yeah.
So, and the Cleveland Cavaliers on Kelsey night, the Kelsey brothers were in action. The rally from a double-digit deficit to beat the Boston Celtics, 105-104.
Yeah, the Celts have been the hot ticket in the Eastern Conference, but Cleveland got the better of them last night.
Mm-hmm. All right, coming up in a moment, our This State in History will feature... I started to say America's Anchorman, but that was Rush Limbaugh. But he was self-proclaimed as America's Anchorman. But the Anchorman of all Anchormen, and I'm not talking Ron Burgundy, is coming up in just a moment. But first, these words from our sponsors.
Online propane monitoring and reporting. Know your home's consumption and gas remaining in the tank. Find out more at litterpropane.com.
At Rathkamp Financial, we believe in building client relationships for the long term, guiding you through the stages of wealth with a plan and bringing you closer to reaching your financial dreams. We believe in long-term relationships and working to earn your continued trust with our customized investment solutions.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When ensuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
Whenever I first applied for the Archways opportunity, oh, do I have to pay this back? Do I have to do that? Like, is it a loan? And it's not. It's a scholarship. A goal of mine is to graduate college debt-free. If you're a crew member, you get $2,500 a year, and if you're a manager, you get $3,000. And especially if you're going locally to college, like to the branch or something like that, it's really helpful.
You haven't had vodka soda like this. No one has. Made with the world's smoothest vodka plus real juice. New White Claw Vodka Soda.
We're back.
Erupting with corruption.
No, we're not. We're not. This date in history, and that's the way it was.
Or is. On this case.
Well, when I watched Walter a lot was the Saturday morning news things that he used to do. Yeah. And that's the way it was back then.
Yeah.
But let's bring him up.
There he is. Uncle Walter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. On this date, he finished out by saying, "That's the way it is." March 6th, 1981. This is Walter Cronkite, CBS. He also, I don't know if you saw this, but I remember the night he signed off, he said, "I'm going to be on assignment for a while," which meant retirement. I think he might have done some special reports or things like that.
Yeah, because I picture him on a sailboat. There's a shot of him sailing, and I think he was kind of doing some of that. Yeah. But here's a guy that many people came to know during World War II.
Yes.
Of some of the reporting he was doing at that point in time, and then he became truly the most trusted name in news. And who will ever forget him? And I've only seen this in video files, but when President Kennedy had been assassinated, it came to a moment where he had to take his glasses off and look up at the clock. And I mean, it's so dramatic in making that. Moon landings, everything going on there. It's been Walter Cronkite.
Yeah.
And then in 1981, he kind of gave the keys over to Dan Rather.
Yeah. He was one of what they called the Murrow boys, Edward R. Murrow, who was the Walter Cronkite of radio in his day. But Edward R. Murrow later did a TV interview type show. But Andy Rooney, Walter Cronkite, Howard K. Smith. I mean, there were a bunch of people that you were used to seeing on many of those old newscasts, even on different networks later. They were all doing their thing together, kind of under the tutelage of Edward R. Murrow, but Walter Cronkite, certainly. I know when the story was that when Cronkite came out with a commentary, and that was the neat thing. He would give commentary during his newscast, but he would pause from doing the news. It would come up on the screen following his commentary, and they don't run it. He didn't run it together like they do now. And he gave a commentary after coming back from Vietnam as to what he saw. And the word was that LBJ, President Johnson, was watching, and he turned the TV off and said, "If we've lost Walter Cronkite, we've lost the war."
Yeah.
And it wasn't that much longer that Mr. Johnson announced, "I will not seek a second term for president." So
you're a couple of years older than I am.
Come on now, stop it.
And now this is important because back during Vietnam, you were a little more mature than I was. So
what happened? What happened since that time?
Something has happened since it. But so like when I'm like 7, you're 9, and so you've got a couple more years experience on me and for social gatherings and that kind of thing. But I remember watching the news because Dad always read the Columbus Dispatch and watched Channel 10 News, and there was CBS with Walter Cronkite. And this was well before the Iranian crisis, in which we had hostages and everything, which launched Ted Koppel's career in a big way. But they would always go over the death count from Vietnam War. And as a young kid, and I wasn't, caught up into it, somebody that might be 10 years older than me, someone in their 70s right now, probably along the lines of, I kind of viewed that as maybe a political statement, more so than an actual factual reporting, so to speak. And when you plaster that up there on the screen every day, that tends to wear on a country, I think.
Well, the body count numbers they always gave didn't not only involve our troops, it involved enemy troops. And we, by far, were killing more of the enemy than they were killing us. But after the Tet Offensive, I think 64, 65, that's where the whole mood of the country changed. Right. It was very supportive in the early days, but after that, it just kind of disappeared. And if you've ever seen the movie Forrest Gump, the protest, that's the way it was on the news every night.
Right.
Every night. People forget 1970, Kent State, that was all an anti-Vietnam protest. So very turbulent times in our country if you're old enough to remember those days.
Yeah, which again is why I wanted to bring that up.
Yes.
Because I was younger than you and you had more of understanding.
And you just wanted to rub it in one more time that I'm older than you. Well, although my blood pressure at the doctor's visit yesterday, I was amazed. I was amazed at how good it was.
Yeah.
It was 122/72. And when I told my wife and daughter, and Sarah said, "It's that spinach you've added to your salad."
Let's see your forearms. Are they starting to grow like Popeyes?
And I answered with,
I guess I will continue to be the wimpy of the two, and
or olive oil, whichever.
I'll eat my cheeseburgers,
every Tuesday.
That sort of thing. Yeah. Yeah, because he did say I would pay you on Tuesday.
I'll pay you back on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Wonder if it ever came. Like some of the friends that I've had over the years.
I don't know that I've ever had to borrow money from you. You're the one that always forgets your wallet.
And I did. That's true. I did. Yeah.
Maybe we can start tonight.
Ask my wife. I do that. She said, "You ate your wallet tonight?" I said, "I'm not driving. I don't bring my wallet when I don't drive." So, so there you go.
Which means he's not expected to be pulled over.
So if you're thinking about mugging
identifications.
If you're thinking about mugging me, forget it. I am not carrying any cash.
And for me, I just don't carry money.
Oh, golly.
I did have a fellow stop up the other day, and he was panhandling a little bit, and I gave him what I thought was all I had, and I had $0 on me to hand out, but I did have some coins sitting in the little handle part of the car door, and I reached in and I said, "Hey, I've got no cash on me right now, but I've got this for you." And when I pulled away, I looked down, there was still a quarter and a penny there, and I thought, oh man, I didn't give him everything I had. So people down on their luck sometimes, and they just need assistance. So, and it's up to them to do whatever with you, what you give them. You know,
right or wrong. Yeah.
God's the one that says, "Hey, you got it, give it," and so we did. And I just didn't give it all. I thought I did. So forgive me, Lord. All right, that's a look at the program today. Coming up tonight, high school basketball, and we'll have action starting around 6:50 this evening from St. Charles. What do they call it? The St. Charles Robotic Gymnasium, I believe.
I saw that name and I thought, what in the world is going on in here?
Well, the first thing I thought of was the Megabots battles that they have and everything. Aaron has been there. You were there just last week. Does it look like a place where they could have the robot fights?
Feasibly, I could see that.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So we may see Transformers there.
Yeah, maybe. Hey, rock 'em, sock 'em.
All right.
Well, you'll be on the floor for a firsthand view. So, all right, that's a look at the program today. Thank you for watching, and thank you for listening here on Litter Media Radio. We're going to turn things over to our studio announcer to send it back to radio.